Hello, everyone, and welcome to another evening of stamping. I am Sarah Simon. I'm coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin. And holy cow, a lot of you have jumped on already. I see somebody from Paraguay. So, oh my goodness, welcome. I don't think I've ever had anybody watch me from there. So, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all of you for joining me. Tonight, we are giving away the creative challenge winner. I'm picking a winner. I have my wheel of names all ready to go. I checked it at a little bit after 5 o'clock to make sure I didn't miss anyone. And I added everyone that I saw on there at that point. So thank you, Amy. Yes, it's official. Today is the day that Stampin' Up! Finalizes all of our earnings for the last month. And I got an email from them saying, congratulations, it's official. You have earned the incentive trip. So less than 1% of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators worldwide earn this because it does take a lot of work to be able to earn it. So I'm super, super excited. And over the weekend, I was talking to my sister and brother-in-law, and I think they're getting excited to possibly go with me. So that would be a lot of fun because you can buy in extra people to go in on the trip with you. And so I'm thinking one of them will be my guest, and then the other one, I think it'll just be the three of us. Otherwise, I don't know. There's so many people who have said, can I go with you? I'd love to go with you. And I don't know how I would pick just one person from all the people that have said that to me. So I'm kind of leaning that way right now. We'll see what happens over time. But anyway, I am so excited. And I do have to admit, I have prizes stacked up here that have addresses on them that need postage on them. And as soon as I get postage on them, and things are a little bit not as crazy at work right now, they're going to get really crazy in September. As we were looking at our calendar and all the things we're planning for September, I'm like, oh my goodness, September is going to fly by. So, anyway, I need to get some of this stuff done while I actually have time and I can leave work on my lunch hour and get it done because we're not crazy. So, anyhow, I do have some happy mail to share with you. I received this card from Donna Deppner, came in the mail, and look at this. It opens up and it pops up like that. Look at those fun strawberries this time of year. That's so fun because, of course, here we don't get strawberries year round and they're really, really good over the summer months. And then I received this beautiful card from Ella Payment. Ella is on my team. And when she joined my team, I had sent her a little gift in the mail along with all of the stuff that they got at my team meeting. So the color coach, some cards that we made, a little gift that I had for them, and then a prize. Everybody won some sort of a little prize. So that was in there as well. And she was thanking me for that and saying that she was happy to be on my team. And Ella, we're happy to have you on our team. I feel bad that you don't live close enough to be able to gather with us, but I'm glad that I can still send stuff to you. So, all right, let's give away our prizes for our cards from last week. And then we will go ahead and get to our big prize today. So last week we did this fun fold where it looks like it opens normal, but then when you open it up, it has these fun little extra folds in it. So receiving this card that I made last week, and here's the envelope that goes with it, is Sue Thomas. So Sue, I will hopefully be getting this out in the mail to you tomorrow. I'm going to try to, as I'm watching the Brewer game, it's on right over here. But as I'm watching it later, I'm addicted. As I'm watching it later after the live, I'm going to write out all of those addresses and then I'm going to stop and get stamps. I should have gotten all my stamps before they just went up, but I didn't get there. So I'll be paying the increased fee for postage. All right. And then for sharing. So anytime you hit share, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, if you email it to somebody, whatever you do, please mark down that you shared. Let's see, I've got a couple of people that have done it already tonight. So Mary Linsmeyer and Mary Van Domlin shared on YouTube. Doesn't look like anybody has on Facebook told me that they've shared yet. But what happens is I can't see who shared. It'll tell me, oh, this many people shared, but it won't tell me who, because a lot of times it's whatever you have for your privacy settings. And so if you could just write down that you share, your names all get entered into a drawing. You all get assigned actually a number. I randomly pick a number, and whoever is assigned to that wins the card. So receiving this card, this was our wedding card that we made for that fun fold, is Lori Workman. So Lori, I will be getting this off in the mail to you. You might be a double winner because I think your name was in the wheel of names as well for the other one. See, Debbie just on Facebook said shared. So she actually shared it. So next week she will get her name into, and same with Charlene, they will get their name into a drawing to win the cards that I'm making today. And then for placing an order. So anytime you place an order with me, so if you go to my store, place an order, you get entered into a drawing to win things as well. So these are the charming faceted dots. I love these. These are those things. Can you see how they sparkle? Oh, look at that. You can even see it in the camera how much they sparkle. They are just so cool. These are probably my favorite. I've got a lot of them. So receiving these for placing an order. Again, I put all your names into a drawing. Elsa Aguirre, you will be getting these. So thank you all for your order. I saw that several of you jumped on today to place some orders because we do, starting today, we have our in color products went on sale for 15% off. So I'm using one of our in colors today. I'm also using a DSP that has some of the in colors in. So that is also on sale. I'm using some gems that has one of our in colors in. So they are also on sale. So anything that has an in color in it is actually marked down 15% off right now while supplies last. So if something goes out of stock and they can't get it in again before the sale is over at the end of August, they won't give you that at the discounted price later. Okay. The other thing that they updated today was our last chance products. And I made my cards last night and I'm like, oh, I haven't used this bundle yet. And I decided to use it. And of course, today it goes on last chance. Not the punches that I'm using, but the stamp set is on last chance. So it's actually marked down. So that's a good thing. So everything I'm pretty much using today and the embossing folder I'm using also went on last chance. So a lot of the things that I'm using tonight in my demonstration are things that you can all get discounted. So that's kind of nice, right? I'm trying to think what this is. Oh, this is our drawing. So let's go ahead and let me open up to my wheel of names and let's pick our winner for the creative challenge. So if you're new to me, last week I made 2 cards with the same fun fold. I gave all the dimensions, and then I challenged you to make a card with that fun fold. I posted the challenge on my Facebook page, and people in the comments posted pictures of the cards that they made. Now, a couple of people who aren't on Facebook ended up emailing me their cards. Their names are in here. I will be uploading their pictures later to Facebook so that you can see theirs as well. But now I put all of those names into a wheel, an online wheel of names, and we're going to spin that wheel and see who is going to win the bundle of their choice. So you get to pick out the bundle from the catalog that you would like, and I will order that and send it to you as your prize for participating in my challenge. So let me go ahead and let's see. I think you are on right now. Let me go to view the tab. So hopefully you can see that. I think you can see it. It shows me that you're seeing it. So I'm going to go ahead and click and spin this. Let's actually shuffle the names. Ooh, looks like we've got 20 people who participated. I'm going to keep shuffling them. They're just shuffling on that little wheel. And now I'm going to spin it. And we will see where it ends up to see who wins the bundle of their choice. And it looks like it's going to be Julie Wilson. So congratulations, Julie. How exciting for you. I will, let me get back to myself here. There we go. If you would send me an email, I have my email right along the bottom because last week I had to keep telling everybody what that email address was. So my email is there. If you could send me a message and let me know what bundle you would like, I will make sure that that gets off in the mail to you. And I don't even know. Yes, Julie is on here. So congratulations, Julie. I think Julie's from North Dakota. So how exciting is that? Oh my gosh, she just said, awesome. So congratulations to Julie. All right, are you ready to do a one sheet wonder? I decided that tonight, instead of doing a 12 by 12 one sheet wonder, because those can take quite a bit of time because they usually make around 10 or 12 cards, I was going to do a 6 by 6. And my first thought was that I was going to use that rainbow paper. But then when I started to cut it apart, it was like, okay, this isn't working how I thought it was going to. So then I was like, because I wanted to use something that had in colors in it, and that had cloud cover in it. It had Secret Sea. And so that was my first thought. Well, then I went back to the drawing board and I ended up using a different DSP that made me even happier. And it has strawberry slush in it, which is, I love strawberry slush. I think it's really pretty. So I'm going to show you a a color combination with 3 colors, strawberry slush, and then 2 other colors that go really nicely with it and that were in that designer paper. So let me go ahead and flip my camera. There we go. I do have the dimensions here that you can follow along. I'm going to leave this under here until I need it. Okay, so again, it's going to be 6 by 6. I don't know why this is a little bit blurry. Let's see if I can fix it. Let me see if I turn my overhead light off, if that helps. It just looks really dark for some reason today and very blurry. I don't know why it looks so blurry. There we go. It's adjusting. It just needed a little time. It needed to wake up. It's been plugged in since last week, and so that could be why. And Lila's here all of a sudden. Lila's my miniature, or not miniature. She's a medium-sized golden doodle. And she hears me talking to somebody, and she thinks you're going to come and pet her, I'm sure. But that is not going to happen. All right, because I don't think we can do that over the air. So let me get some of my stuff over here so that I am ready to go. So the paper that I decided to use, I've got all my little notes here. So we're using Floral Impressions paper, and the one that I chose was one that had some of the in colors in. And this is a 12 by 12 that I just cut a quarter of it off. So this is 6 by 6. So I just cut this down. So there's a lot of pretty colors in here. There's some old olive. There is some, I think this is garden green. There is strawberry slush. There's pretty in pink. There's blackberry bliss and fresh freesia. All kinds of pretty colors. And then a yellow in there. I don't know if I think that's daffodil or crushed curry. I'm not sure. And then look at this side. Pretty, right? So we're going to use this side, and because the paper is going to do most of the work in these 3 cards that we make from this 6 by 6 paper, I decided I wanted to use a word stamp set. So I'm using the Tags of Thanks, which I hadn't broken this open yet. And today when they did the last chance, this is on last chance. It's reduced down to $14.40 from $18 originally. So if you like the greetings in here, this would be a good price to be able to get this. It is going to be, when it's sold out, it's done. This was an online exclusive. Now it's bundled with these hole punch assortments, which I think these are unavailable right now because they're out of stock, but it does say, if they weren't going to come back, they wouldn't say unavailable. They would just not be there. So I do not believe that they're going on last chance. I believe these will still be available, but the bundle will no longer be available. And we're actually going to be using 2 of these. We're going to be using these 2. I didn't use this one. This one was just a little bit big for what I was wanting to do with these punches today. So that they're in a bundle. You can't get the bundle right now, but you could get the stamp set before it goes out. And these should be coming back in stock. And this does say it's 1/8 of an inch circle if you're wanting a circle punch. All right, so we're going to be using Strawberry Slush ink, and I did put all these prices here. So the stamp pad's on sale for $7.65. The ribbon is on sale for $6.80. We're going to be using that. These are the stamp sets. This Floral Impressions paper is on sale for $10.36 because it has in colors in it. We're going to be using some of the cardstock, which is on sale for $11.90. And these are the Strawberry Slush Pretty in Pink and Clear gems. You can hardly see those through that paper. Let me take them out of there, that bag. Take that out of there so you can see those a little bit better. And these are on sale for $7.23. So anything that has an in color in it doesn't have to be just called an in color. If there's an in color in the paper, if there's an in color in anything, the gems, it is on sale. Okay, so let me bring my piece of paper in here. I'm going to set my stamps aside here. And I've got my piece of paper here that's 6 by 6. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer so you can see. Whoops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit the camera. I'm going to see how I cut this. So if your paper is directional, so mine is, this is the right way. Okay, so you're going to put it in the right way so that it's looking like it's right. And you're going to cut a strip at 4 inches. Okay, then this 4-inch strip, cut the 4-inch strip in half at 3 inches. So I'm going to cut this in half at 3. So I have 2 pieces that are 3 by 4. Okay, this is going to be card 1. This is going to be card 2. Set those up there. Then I have 2 inches left. So cut the 2-inch strip at 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. This is going to be for my card 3. This is just going to be a piece that's left over. If you wanted to put it somewhere, I couldn't find a place to put it in the card at all. Okay, so that's it for cutting our 6 by 6. So I'm going to get 3 cards out of 1/4 of a piece of paper. Now, a piece of DSP. Or if you have a 6 by 6, if it's one of the 6 by 6 inch packs, you would just take one of the sheets. So this is going to be card 1, 2, and 3. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a coordinating cardstock. So I took this flower right here and kind of a little bit of this one. All right. There's Strawberry Slush in there, and there is Pretty in Pink. And then the green that I liked out of there was this one right here that went with that, which was Old Olive. So my color combination for this card, it really is nice to have 3 colors. So I'm using Old Olive. I'm using, where is it here? Pretty in Pink. So I've got some Pretty in Pink stuff. And then I have some Strawberry Slush. Okay, the embossing folder that I'm using is this plaster embossing folder, which went on sale today, last chance, for $10.80. So when you see my paper, this is what I embossed it from. Now notice one side over here looks kind of like almost like a linen, and then this looks like the plaster. This looks like kind of, I don't know, your, what do you call that? Sheetrock or whatever. Before you put the plaster on, it kind of looks like that. I like that. And I purposely, when I die cut or embossed mine, I made sure I went all the way out to the side because I wanted that on the side of my paper. All right. So let's get back to this. So I'm going to have 3 card bases that are 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored them at 4 1/4. I did all of mine in Old Olive. Okay. So I have 3 card bases. They're all the same. Then you're going to have the coordinating cardstock to mat on your DSP. So you need 3 pieces because you had 3 pieces of DSP. These 2, of course, are going to be the same because they're the same as your 2 pieces of DSP. So these are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So one of these is for card 1, the other one is for card 2. And then your third piece is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Notice that both of these are 5 1/4, and then it's just 1/4 of an inch wider. Okay, this is my Strawberry Slush. So that is going to be, one's going to go for card 1, card 2, and card 3. Okay, and then you need another coordinating cardstock for the cards that I'm making. These are the dimensions you would put that at. Now, this is the one that I did in Pretty in Pink. So I have a 1 3/4 by 5.5. That's going to be for my card 1. I have a 1.5 by 4 1/4. That's going to be for my card 2. And then I have one that's 4 by 5 1/4, and I embossed this. So you see how the edge part right there looks a little bit different than the plaster. I wanted that because I'm going to have that little bit showing, and then I'm going to cover up where they kind of come together. So that's going to be for my card 3. And then I have various circles and punches and things like that that I cut out that I'm going to be able to use for my greetings. So this paper is really busy. So all it really needs is some greetings on it. And I just cut some labels and circles for that. Now there are flower dies and things like that that you could put with this, but I just decided to keep this very simple. This would be a really nice gift set that you would give away. And actually the person who shares and comments next week, each of you will be getting all 3 of the cards because I'm going to give you my samples as well, so that you get like the little gift pack. So here I have 3 pieces that are 4 by 5 1/4 that are just going to be for the inside of my card. All right, let's put card 2 away and card 3 away. Let's just set it off to the side. And I'm going to work with my card number 1, which is these 3 pieces right here. So I have, this is going to be attached to that mat. And I need one of my card bases in here. I don't know where my bone folder is. I probably took it out when I went and did my card class last week. I was doing things at my table rather than in here because my mom came over and helped me with some stuff as well. All right, so our DSP is going to get attached to that layer that's just 1/4 of an inch bigger. All right, and then hello to all of you who have jumped on while I was talking. Oh, Melanie's hubby's birthday. That's important. Okay, so this piece is just going to go along the bottom of the card. So I'm actually going to open this up. And I'm just going to line this up along the bottom. And if it helps, you could always stand it up and just make sure it's down there flat. So it's just going to go all the way across. Now, if you cut it just a little bit big, you can always look here, and if there's a little bit sticking out this way, you could trim that off. So I always start it in one corner, and then if it's a little bit big, I can cut it off the other corner. All right, and then this piece is just going to go down in the center of our card. Now, if you wanted to, you could emboss that Pretty in Pink piece. I decided just to keep it plain. I embossed it on the last one. And now for this, I wanted to put something in the center. So I started with this circle, and I'm like, it's kind of getting lost there. So what I decided to do is I wanted to put something behind it so that it just kind of stood out. See how that stands out just a little bit more once you pop that behind it? And I wanted to use some of our ribbon, and so I decided to use this 1/8 inch circle punch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch on either end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for this circle, and I'm going to watch when I'm putting it in, and I'm going to make sure that I get it. Can you kind of see? I don't know if you can see that or not, but probably not. It's probably getting really blurry. But I can see right where that point is. I can then see where the little stitching is, and I go in a little bit further, and then I punch it to get it in the center. I'm going to do the same thing at the other end. I'm going to slide it in. I can see where the little V is. I can see where the little stitches are. I'm going to go a little bit further, and then I'm going to punch it. Okay, so that's how I just use this punch to put some little holes in. Now, all I really want to do is have some ribbon. This was an idea I had. I hadn't seen it anywhere. First, I thought of running it on either side. And then I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do that. And so what I did was I tied a knot. Ooh, the Brewers have the bases loaded with 2 outs. I do have the game on here. I'm addicted. They're so fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna tie a knot and I'm gonna trim this off on an angle. And then I'm just gonna cut a little bit that I can weave in. And I'm just going to, if this is my top, I'm just gonna push this edge that does not have the knot through until it gets to the knot. And I'm just gonna leave that little knot hanging out. And in the back, I'm just going to take some of my tearing tape, and I'm just going to tape that piece down. Now, I didn't really need to cut a piece that was that big, but it worked. Okay. Then I'm going to repeat that for the other side. So I'm going to tie a little knot at the end. Okay, and then I'm going to they scored a run. Go ahead and do that. Again, repeat it. Go to the other side and stick this through the back, or through the front to get it to the back. Oops, I actually think I want this to go that way. There we go. And then I'm going to take another piece of my tearing tape and put it down here. Okay, so I just liked how that had like a little ribbon sticking out of both ends of that. And then that's going to go down here, and my greeting is going to go in the center. Now, I took this off and used that to adhere it, because I thought I've got that there anyway. I might as well use it to keep this down. But then I also took a couple of glue dots, and let me get those glue dots. And I'm going to put one at this end. So if you have these dies, these are the stylish shapes, and you have this punch, this is a different way to add a little ribbon to your card. I just kind of made it up. I don't know if it looks cool or not, but I'm like, okay, what can I do with this? Let's see. And it just kind of came to me last night. I'm like, well, that'll work. Whoa. I didn't get rid of the dot. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to set this down about right there. Push those glue dots down. There we go. And now we can go ahead and stamp our thank you on this little pink, pretty and pink piece. Just going to do a thank you. These are all kind of thank you cards that I thought would be nice to send somebody, put in a little gift package. Okay, so there's our thank you. That's going to go right there. And I'm going to put that on dimensionals, and I want my dimensionals to be on either side of that. And then I'll throw some here and there as well. Just want to kind of hold that label down underneath as well. So I've got my thank you, and we'll just put that right there. And then we'll add a little bling. So it's just a little bit different way to add some ribbon to the front of our card. And where did I set my bling when I was here? There. So these have both the pretty and pink, and they have the strawberry slush on them. And I think I'm going to use the strawberry slush. And because there's a little bit of space on this label. I think I'm going to put those there, and I might put one down here. Okay, I was going to put them in with the greenery, but I thought it might get lost in there, and there was quite a bit of space, and I especially, since I stamped that just a little bit low, it kind of worked to put them on the label. Okay, let's go ahead and put a greeting on the inside. That's one thing I do have to do to my samples that I made last night. I did not put a greeting in. So I have one that says, where is the one that I wanted to use for this? Couldn't have done it without you. I couldn't do it without you. I thought that was perfect for a thank you for somebody who helps you out. I send a lot of thank yous to people who volunteer in my office. I did a whole bunch of thank yous for all of my Vacation Bible School volunteers. And this is a perfect saying for that. Couldn't do it without you, because isn't that true? It takes a village, right? And luckily, I'm in a place where we've got a really good village. So lots of volunteers and helpers. So, and it actually is a village. All right. The parish that I work in is in a little village. So there we go. Couldn't do it without you. There is our first card. Pretty easy, right? Okay, let's go ahead and make card number 2, and then I'll put all of them up here. Oh my gosh, they're up 4-0 now. Amazing. They're so fun to watch. Okay, this one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be similar to that, but whoops, that's not the right piece. This is that 1.5 by 4 1/4. It's going to go this way this time. And then my DSP is going to come. So this is going to be a landscape card instead of, oh, this one was a landscape too, but it's just going the opposite way. Instead of the bottom, it's going on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the strawberry slush. Aren't these colors really nice together with this old olive and the pretty in pink and the strawberry slush? I just really liked the combination. Here I'm going to start at my where it's scored. I'm just going to move it over just a little bit from the side. You could go right up to the side if you wanted to. I'm going to try to get that as even as possible. And then again, flip it over. And this time I do see a little bit of it sticking out the end. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and I'm going to press it against that card base and just trim against the card base to get it to the size that I want. I'd rather cut a little bit bigger and trim a little bit off than not be big enough, because you can't add more paper, but you can always take just a little bit off. Okay, so then this is going to go right in here. And this time I decided I'm just going to stamp this on here. And I'm going to do something a little bit different with the ribbon on this one. And I'm going to raise that up. And I'm thinking that the ribbon is going to draw attention to the label. This circle was just kind of a small circle. This was a little bit more substantial. For this one, I'm going to use, let's see, where is it? You made my whole day. Not just part of it. You made my whole day. Again, I'm doing it in Pretty in Pink. I'm sorry, on Pretty in Pink paper. And I'm using strawberry slush. And I'm going to do this kind of in the center. I want to leave a little space on the right to cut a little banner. And on the right, or left, I'm sorry, right, left, whatever it is, to put my punch in there to add my ribbon. All right, so I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up about where the center is. And then I'm going to cut in from each of the corners. So that one and that one to make my little banner. And then this time I'm going to use this little slotted punch. And again, I'm going to kind of center it going to see where my paper is, go a little bit further in. You can kind of see on the bottom when you're hitting when your paper is coming in, go just a little bit further and punch that. All right, for this one, the way I'm going to attach the ribbon is I'm going to use a little bit of ribbon and a little bit of our Essentials Baker's Twine. I'm going to use the white, and I'm going to cut a piece off. And I'm just going to string that right through there and kind of cross it over like so. And we're just going to tie that with a little bow of, hopefully I've got enough there so I can get a nice, pretty nice bow. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the edge. And if you have a tweezers or reverse tweezers, that can work really nice with this too. Of course, mine is not sitting here right now. It's with my embossing stuff. But when you use Baker's Twine, you can go ahead and tie in a knot and still tie in a bow. Regular ribbon, not so much. Your bow gets really, really chunky if you do that. But with Baker's Twine and linen thread, you can tie it in a knot and then make your bow. So that's what I did so that I could hold that in place. Now I'm just kind of all thumbs here. Let me get my bow. So I always make a little loop on the right side. I flip it from the back to the front and then stick it through the little opening that's there and then pull it. And then I pull on either of the little tails to make it a little bit smaller. And then I just keep pulling it tighter, and then I pull it a little bit smaller until it gets to the size that I want. And I think that looks pretty good. And I'm going to trim off these tails. I'm going to leave them a little bit longer, and then I'm going to also trim this up a little bit. Don't have the best ribbon scissors here, but it'll do. And we're just going to put that there with that hanging off a little bit so that you can see that. And we're going to raise that up on some dimensionals. All right. And take these off. Pop that in there. You made my whole day. Again, not part of it, the whole thing. Strawberry slush is your favorite color. I know, I love this strawberry slush. I love this color combination with it too. I was like, oh my gosh, I just picked some of the colors that were in there and it worked pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and add a few of our gems again. Let's see. We've got a little bit of space up there. And then maybe we just want to put it on, maybe down here. I might get lost a little bit in these flowers. Maybe we just want that one, but I'm going to put 3 on. I'm going to put 2 there and 1 up there. All right. Now let's grab our inside and stamp a greeting on the inside. You made my whole day. So lucky to know you. How about that? So lucky to know you. I think that works perfect together. Put this back so I don't get ink on anything. So that is our card number 2. So we had the exact same size DSP. We just flipped it. Okay, so we just flipped it and put that piece on the right or left side instead of on the bottom. And we changed our ribbon up. We changed the kind of label we had. Right, so that's our card number 2. Now for our card number 3, again, I'm going to use an old olive. And this one's actually going to be a portrait rather than landscape. And we're going to attach, so this was our 2-inch strip, and then we cut the strawberry slush to 2 1/4. Both of them should be at 5 1/4. Looks like one might be a little bit longer than the other. I maybe messed up a little bit on the cutting, but we'll do our best here to make it look. Looks like my DSP is maybe just a little bit longer, but it's going to work. It's going to blend in. All right, and then I think I'm going to use some liquid glue because this is bumpy. And I do add this before I add that layer to the card, only because if I have to trim a little bit off, I can. So this is where I said, see how this is kind of like how the, what did I call that again? The drywall or whatever is, sheetrock, whatever is before you start putting the plaster on, kind of looks like that. I wanted that showing through. So I want to get my flowers in the right direction. So I want just a little bit of that showing through so that you can see that. And then the plaster on the other side. And this is, looks like this is all too long. So we're going to trim this off. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to hold this right against that piece of paper, and I'm just going to trim right along that piece of cardstock that I have. I didn't do a very good job, probably because it's 2 layers. There we go. Right, and then that is going to go on our card front. You could go right up to the edge if you wanted to and not even show that little piece, but I thought, how cool is that? It looks like I embossed it with 2 different embossing folders, and I didn't. It's the same one, it's just different on one side than the other side. Okay, now I've got a little circle in strawberry slush. I cut this out because I couldn't really put pretty in pink. So I had to kind of bring the back color in, and I'm going to do this in white, and I thought it would be fun to layer it in that. So we're just going to go like that. For this one, I'm going to use the stamp that just says "For You." So if you find a greeting set that you really like and you have a paper that's like really busy like this is a great way to make a whole bunch of cards very fast. And you could put together a little gift set, or like I said, if you have an event or you have something where you have to send a whole bunch of thank you notes for something, this is the perfect way to do this. Now, I didn't like how this one cut. I did try that one on here. I thought maybe I would like it. It was just too big for the size ribbon that I had. If I had a bigger ribbon, that would probably work good. So again, I'm going to go in and I'm going to center it, and I'm going to watch from the back. I'm going to look for, when I enter it, I'm going to go a little bit further in and then just punch it. That's going to go in there. And this time when I put my ribbon through there, instead of tying it with twine, I'm just going to tie it in a knot. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie it and pull it tight. I'm not even going to tie it in a double knot. I'm just going to tie it that one time, and I'm just going to trim this. It stayed. And if you want to, you can put a glue dot down to make sure that it stays in place. But I didn't need to make something really bulky by tying it a second time. Just tying it that once, put it down, and then I'm going to put that right over the top of that. So I'm going to put this down flat. Goodness. And then I'm going to raise this up on some dimensionals. I think I did that the opposite when I did this with my sample last night. I just thought of that. I think I put dimensionals on the other one and this one flat. You could do either. It doesn't really matter. So for you. And this one, I just took one of the bigger dots. Where did I put those? What did I do with the dots? They're not there. They've got to be on here, this table here somewhere, this desk, because I didn't bring them anywhere. I didn't move them. Oh, no, that's the true. No. Well, I'll be. Okay, let's just stamp the inside and let's see if they show up. I'm just going to put one right there, one of the bigger ones, if I find it. Oh, here they are. See, I just had to move that sheet. Did anybody else see them? All right, let's go ahead and take one of the bigger ones. Let's just set it right on this end because it's got the ribbon on that end. And we'll just call it a day. I think I just did that one. Oh, you know what? I did put two more. I put this up here and then a tiny one here. Whatever. If you think it just needs the one, you could just put the one. But there we go. We've got three and a little clump right there. All right, now we need this one. We got to do this one the right way. The other two were landscape. This one is actually portrait. And for this one, I'm going to do You're the Best. I could have done that with the last one. You made my whole day, you're the best. Or I could have switched those around. It doesn't really matter. There's just a greeting on the inside, so I don't have to write as much, right? Diane, yep. I oftentimes cannot find things on my desk. I get to the point sometimes where it's like, if I were just clean up, I would be spending less time looking for things, right? It's like, Sarah, take 20 minutes, clean everything up and put everything away. And then you won't keep losing things every second of the day. If I just clean up, right? Okay. So again, here are our three cards. This was card 1. This was card 2. This was card 3. Here were our directions on how to cut and the dimensions for each of the different layers. So card 1, card 2, I think card 3 in here. Okay, so there are cards. There's our directions so that if you wanted to do a screenshot of that. So this again is what we call a one sheet wonder. Normally I do these with 12 by 12 sheets of paper. And this DSP actually was 12 by 12. I just cut it down to 6 by 6. So I took a quarter of the sheet of paper and I was able to get these 3 cards. This is perfect when you're looking to maybe make a gift set for somebody and you want all the cards to kind of match and then wrap them together. You could do a bunch of different types of greetings. I decided to focus just on this one stamp set that I hadn't used, and now it's on last chance when I finally used it. But you could do that, or if you have to make, like, these are all thank you cards. If you just wanted to get a whole bunch of thank you notes in the mail, you could do this same thing that I did on this first one. You could do on this one, and you could do it on that one, so that they're all pretty much the same. They all just look a little bit different, so you don't get sick of making the exact same card. All right. I know Julie said that she's got a lot of 6 by 6 paper. I do too. There's the packs that come like that, but then sometimes when I have like a workshop online, I cut it down to 6 by 6 because it's just easier to send that. And so that is why I have a lot of stuff that even if it isn't 6 by 6, I've cut it down that way. So let me go ahead and turn my light back on. And I'll come back to you. Let's see here. I got to go to my scene that says that I'm talking. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. Whew, there I am. All right, so that's it for today. Congratulations to Julie on winning the creative challenge. Thank you again to all of you that participated. I did put my pre-order in for the holiday catalog today. Oh my gosh, I ordered a lot of stuff, but I didn't order everything. You know, like you can't get everything. So I'm very much, I love the true meaning of Christmas and I love making nativities. So I did order the stamp set that have the nativity because I really loved that. Kathy and I picked our bundle that we're going to use for our Christmas camp. And so I ordered that. I'm in a swap that I have to do a certain bundle. So I ordered that bundle. And so, yeah, that should be coming. I did second day order because I had so many bonus points, like my dollars that I could use on the stuff. I decided that I was going to do second day shipping because it covered my bonus stuff, covered the shipping. So that was good. All right. I will be live again. Let me think. Next week, Tuesday. Yes, I will be live next week, Tuesday. Next week is going to be kind of crazy week because we're getting ready for a baby shower. So that'll be not this weekend, but the weekend after. And I actually have a card buffet that weekend too. So it's going to be whoo-hoo. Sarah's going to be going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? Because I'm going to be running, getting a whole bunch of stuff ready, but I love it. I love being busy. I love doing the things that I love. And I love when I'm busy doing the things that I love. And all of those are things that I love. So if you are local, I will be getting the card buffet information to you. Hopefully, Kathy and I are both working on it tonight and tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be coming to you before the end of the week so that you can sign up. But keep Saturday the 16th open because that's when we are doing it. And I think that's all I have for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you have a great week. I hope you can find some time to be creative this week. I hope that this inspired you to try something new, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.